Alright, so there's been a lot of stupidity going around the NBA, and today I'm just going to try and clear it up and tell you what my thoughts are on about this stupidity. So the only three people we're going to be covering today is Kyrie Irving, Johnathan Isaac, and Ben Simmons. Maybe I should start with Ben Simmons because it's a lot less political of what he's doing. It's just basically something that's very stupid and ignorant. But nonetheless, let's start with Kyrie Irving, the most, political player in the NBA as of right now. So Kyrie Irving has went out on a limb and said that the vaccine puts a microchip in you. And saying that is blatantly stupid. Now, we've seen some stupid things said from Kyrie Irving in the past, saying that the earth is flat, saying all these conspiracy theories. And, really Adam Silver putting up with this shit. I really, give it out to Adam Silver, because if I was the owner of an organization like the NBA and this guy's spewing all these anti-NBA propaganda things and just won't abide by the rules in which the NBA possesses, I would have got his ass out of there a long time ago. So I really show respect to Adam Silver and the whole NBA for putting up with him, because in the end of the day, this is a hard guy to deal with, and everybody knows that we've seen one of these type of people in our lives where they are stubborn and ignorant. Kyrie Irving says that the vaccine puts a microchip in you. Now, the craziest thing about that is that the way he posted that it puts a microchip in you, he put it on Instagram. And if you don't know, Instagram is a social media app, and when you sign up for it, you put your first name, your last name, your birthday. Okay, first of all, that's already some personal information. Birthday is definitely personal information. And second of all, Instagram is not a protected app. You don't have much protection on there. It's like Twitter, where you can go to a post and then you can dox them. I'm serious. Now look, Kyrie probably does have a VPN because his managers probably make sure that he has a VPN because all the crazy shit he says, his agent does. But thing is that he is posting on a very unsafe app, as in like you can get doxxed, that the vaccine is a microchip. So in itself, he is posting on something that can give away his location, give away his birthday, give away his legal first and last name. And he's worried about a microchip going into his body. In the grand scheme of things, Kyrie Irving is spitting out of his ass. He even said that if he was to get traded because of all the propaganda he's spewing, then he's just going to retire. Now, the amount of disrespect that shows to the NBA is monumental. He said, you know what, I'm going to speak my mind, but also if you do something to me to where we don't have to deal with your bullshit anymore, I'm going to just retire. That's very disrespectful for Kyrie Irving. And it's not to me that it's like, oh, you're in the NBA, you should be happy you're in the NBA. The thing to me is that the NBA has given him so many chances. For instance, if I were to go up to my employer and said, I don't fuck with COVID, I'm not taking the vaccine, they will say, kick rocks, get the fuck out of here, you're replaceable. Now, you can't really do that with Kyrie Irving because he's a superstar and he gets a lot of attention. So they've just been dealing with him. And for Kyrie Irving to deal with this privilege in a privileged manner is disrespectful. Now, if somebody was to say, you know what, you're crying, so I'll come hug you, and then you punch him in the face for hugging you, that's kind of what Kyrie is doing to the NBA. The NBA is trying to support him and hug him while he's crying, and he's just punching him in the face. All right, so let's get into the next guy that's in the wrong, and this is Johnathan Isaac. Now, Johnathan Isaac has a history of not believing in liberal beliefs or what the NBA preaches or what can just be seen as respect. He's not agreed with that in the past, and I'm not going to hold it against him because I feel like people really just hold it against people who don't agree with certain things in the past. So I'm not going to hold it against him. But the other day, he went on the Fox News and was talking about how he doesn't agree with the vaccine and how the NBA is somewhat forcing it on them, and for him to keep his job, he needs to take the vaccine. Now, what he doesn't understand is that in a workplace, you don't really have rights to say certain things like that. Now, you can say things like that. Johnathan Isaac has done it, and you can say it. You can very well say it. But workplaces do go by rules. When you do sign up and work for the NBA or just work for a job in general, you sign some certain things that it says that if it's a policy, you got to do it if you still want to get paid. And Johnathan Isaac has a problem with that, even though he already signed off on that when he did join the NBA and got drafted by the Orlando Magic. So we've seen him in the past standing during the national anthem when everybody was kneeling for Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. We've seen those things, and that was disrespectful. And, we've seen those things, but in this situation, I think it's just ignorant. Going on to Fox News in the first place is disrespectful to your own organization and your fellow employees. LeBron James is an employee of the NBA, and He's probably the biggest athlete in the world right now, maybe besides Messi or Ronaldo. When he was speaking his political spew and just, expressing his First Amendment rights, a girl on Fox News told him to shut up and dribble. So now the same employer, a guy from the same employer of the NBA who just heard shut up and dribble said to his friend LeBron James, comes onto the air and he says, you know what, I'm going to express my beliefs even though you just told my friend to shut up and dribble. So John Isaac saw that Fox News disrespected one of his friends and one of his, employees. And he just says, you know what? I don't care if you disrespected my friend. So John Isaac could have went on CNN. He could have went on national news. He could have done something else. But he wanted to go on to Fox News. All right, and let's get into the last thing that isn't actually political. I've been speaking a lot about my political beliefs here, but I want y'all to do the same. Speaking your political beliefs is a right in this country as long as you're an American. So make sure you do that. It's very important to do that. Ben Simmons. Let's talk about Ben Simmons. So Simmons has reportedly moved out, packed his bags, had his bags packed for weeks, waiting and anticipating a Sixers trade. He wants to be traded out of Philly, and that makes sense. His teammate and Joel Embiid and his coach kind of threw him under the bus after Game 7, saying that they don't know if he can be the point guard for the future. Now, I know during that Game 7, he played pretty bad. But you kind of don't want to do that. I mean, that's especially in that certain situation. The emotions are so pent up after that loss. You don't want to do that to where it can create a fracas, and it created a fracas. So anyway, sources have said that he's had his bags packed, and he is demanding a trade out, and he will sit out all he wants, and he is not going to practice, all this stuff. The thing that Ben Simmons doesn't understand is that he has no flexibility. Now, Ben Simmons, if he had 1 year left on his contract and he was a superstar like James Harden, he can definitely get out because teams want him and teams will give him a big-ass package for him. But he has 4 years left on his contract. Some teams that do want him also don't want to commit 4 years to him because who knows if he's not good the first year. Then you got to deal with him for 3 more years. 3 more years where you can't really trade that guy. So Ben Simmons got to understand he doesn't have flexibility. Now, if I was Ben Simmons, I'd show up to camp and I just say, hey, coach, bench me. Start Tyrese Halliburton and bench me until you find a trade partner. So I'll still get paid. There's not so much disrespect to the organization. But Ben Simmons really went out on a limb and he said that he has no idea of what he's going to do if the Sixers don't trade him. He doesn't know what he's going to do. He's just going to sit out and just lose money. I guess so. Ben Simmons is very privileged. He has a beautiful girlfriend and he has a lot of money. So he can do whatever the fuck he wants. But I do think it's stupid. Coming from a guy who's like in the middle class right now, I say I'm in the middle class. I would never be passing him millions of dollars because I want to get traded. I just still show up practice at least. But yeah, that's it. Thank y'all for watching the video, man. This is a tough video to make because I know there's gonna be a lot of people disagreeing with me and shit. But it's politics in the end of the day. Anybody disagrees in politics, and everybody disagrees in politics. So if you do disagree, make sure to leave a comment. I want to see what your thoughts on this are. And yeah, thank y'all for watching the video, and more rebuilds will be coming soon.
Hey, come on, I got a bag on me. You try to take it, leave you stinking like your last homie. She kinda cakey, little baby, put that ass on me. But I ain't that horny, do you got some cash for me? Why every time you ask him that, bitches act funny. And you keep trying to hold the strap, you won't slap for me. You too happy, I can tell you never had money. Every time you get on live, gotta flash money.